Hello, Snyder here from SnyderSunshineArtStudio.com, welcoming you to my video on how to draw some very happy starfish. So we'll look at how to draw the basic star with a circle. We'll start with a circle and then I'll relate it to some other symbols that will help you to create all little spikes going around, and we'll add some lines, and eventually you could add some color to make it look super exciting and make these very happy starfish to add to whatever ocean picture you want to add your starfish to. So let's look at how we are going to build out our star today. Now, many of my students want to draw stars that don't have the cross lines inside, and so this is how I would explain how to draw a basic star. I'm going to get into it in just a moment here. We're going to change our star into a starfish, and after it's drawn, as always, A.M. Snyder recommends a lot of color. Color is so fun. So let's start off with the circle. The circle is going to be the first thing that we're going to start with. Now, I do have a drinking cup here, and you can use the drinking cup to get a nice circle if you so desire to trace it, and I will do that just to demonstrate here. And because it's a drinking cup, it has a smaller circle and a wider circle. I'm going to start with the wider circle here, and if you've seen any of my other videos with some of these sea creatures, I have used both of these circles, the small and the big, to develop some of these creatures, especially the seahorse video. So if you've not seen the seahorse video, you might want to check that out. So I have my circle, okay, and some other videos like my how to draw a chick or how to draw a spider, I just draw a circle. Circles are fun. Now that I have my circle in place, I could find the little points on either side. And I think I might have done this with the rabbit, how to draw some rabbit videos, funny rabbits. So we put our little marks there, and then I recommend the less than greater than symbols. So if we take from these points out and we draw the less than greater than symbols, waka waka, on either side, alright, that will give us the starting points for our star. And then if we take and we find the points on either side, the left and the right, so the top and bottom here, we could go directly down and we can create an upside down M or a W. W makes a little more sense here. Okay, and then we just add an upside down V, and before you know it, you have your starfish, and we erase the inside. Now, it is always wiser to draw lightly, because if you draw lightly, you can then erase those marks and they will go away for good. I did draw a little darker so you can see what I was doing, so my lines are probably going to be there for a while. Now that I have the star drawn, I'm going to change up the edge of it to make it look like a starfish. So when we look at this one here, I used a little bumpy, wavy kind of line. And then on this one, I used the bumpy line, but I had the points go out. Because the points are going out, it looks a little more jagged. So I think that I will use the points going out in this demonstration. So it's a bunch of curves that are touching each other. And when they are curves that are touching each other and they're following along nicely, playing well with each other, it creates a bumpy line. A.M. Snyder here enjoys commenting about the different names of lines. Lines are just so fun to work with. It's all about organizing them to create the images of the things around us. So now I have my jagged starfish, and as noted, we are going to make them a happy set of starfish, or sea stars. So they have these funny little cartoony kinds of faces. And so let's add a face in here. I am going to make these bigger. And I think instead of having, as you note here, they look like they're kind of looking forward. Oh, that one's looking sideways. So let's have this one look this way. I can give it a little nose and a curvy smile. Curvy smile. And some lines for its cheeks. Great. Now that we have the starfish drawn and it has a fun face, let's add some details on the inside with some additional shapes here. So we are going to add, let's see, I'm looking back at my other ones because it's helpful. I have some circles here that go from big to small, and I did that on that one too. So we could use, instead of circles, we could use water drops. So see, the points are going that way. And that looks great. And then maybe I'll put the circles. Do I want to put them around? Do I want to come where these come in? You know, I think I am. I'm going to do it this way. There's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that works out just fine. Okay, so I'm going to make a smaller starfish. Now this circle I have here on the bottom is going to be too big for that space. So I'm just going to draw. I'm just going to draw with my pencil first. This way I can erase the circle for the starfish over here. Find my points. Less than, greater than. Upside down B, W, and let's develop it. And I'm going to use a wavy line on this one. Give it tiny little eyes because it's a tiny little sea star. And it's going to be looking in that direction. Very careful. There we go. And I'm just going to draw some straight lines. Because it's so small, we can't put a lot of detail in there. And erase. And once you add color, you won't even notice any of those pencil lines. Let's put one more down here because A.M. Snyder kind of likes to work in balance of things. So by putting something else here, it balances the composition. How everything is laid out. And with this one, let's just make all its little arms longer. Adds a little more interest to it in a different way. Let's give it a smile. Let's give it cheek circles. And little curvy eyes. It's super happy. It's happy to be in the ocean with these other two sea star buddies. And so, if you find success and follow along with me today, please give me a comment. Tell me about your success. Tell me if you learned something new while you watched. And if you do color, if you draw in color, leave me a comment about how you colored your sea stars. Because I'd be very curious how you're going to color your sea stars. I tend to make mine so that they're warmer in color against the cooler, what I perceive to be the cooler water. So warmer colors against the cooler water. However, I'd be curious to find out how you color yours. So please leave a comment. Let me know how successful you are today, or if you learned something new with the starfish. As always, this is A.M. Snyder saying enjoy.